Hi, and welcome to Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I'll be doing a collective read today. Now, if you've been here before, you'll know that I've put chapter markers in the timeline and in the description box below. Sometimes they don't show up on the timeline, but they're definitely in the description box, along with any links to references like movies or video games or music. It happens, along with any decks that I might use, provided I can find the creator's link. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. I realize I'm a teeny tiny little tarot channel, so all your views and likes and shares are deeply, deeply appreciated. And I'll put a chapter marker right here because I do have a tarot intro for those who are new to tarot and new to my channel. Nothing intense, just a little food for thought. If you want to go right to the reading, you can, if you're on your laptop or a computer, you can choose the chapter next over. Or if you're on your phone, you can double tap with 2 fingers on the right side of the screen, and it should take you to the next chapter. So, tarot and oracles are tools for self-reflection. It's meant to help guide you when you're making decisions based on your own inner moral compass in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness. I'm an intuitive reader, so I know the tarot and I'll read the oracles, but I also work with my guides, ancestors, and the energies of the universe. That's to say that there's only so many cards in the deck, so when a card comes out and I hear a message that goes along with the card, on the face of it, it may not seem like it goes exactly together, but that's because my guides, my ancestors, or the energies will pick the closest approximation in the deck that I have in hand. It's my job to interpret and translate it for you all, and it's up to you all to decide whether or not it resonates. And you'll know it resonates because it's an immediate response. You're like, wow, this happened to me last year, it's happening to me right now, or I've been thinking about this and here it is in a reading all of a sudden and I haven't told anybody about it. That's resonating. It's like it plucks a heartstring. It transports you to a person, place, thing, event, a situation, a feeling immediately. There's no downtime. You're not sitting there thinking, oh, how can I make this fit? Don't make it fit, because if it doesn't fit, then it's probably not for you that week. Resonating is when you know absolutely, oh, this feels like what I went through or what I'm going through. Now, I will say, on other people's channels, I've seen this happen, and it's happened on my own channel, that people will get really head up and they'll be like, in the comments, like, you don't know what you're talking about. But the thing is, and this is for perspective, really, I'm one of thousands of tarot readers on YouTube, a public platform, and we all are reading thousands of different cards. And anytime you click on a tarot reading, you're going into the reading knowing that it's a collective reading. It is not personal. It's not one-on-one. It's a collective by the nature of it being on YouTube. And so what happens with us as readers, we pick up on different energies of our collective. Sometimes we're connected to one main story, one strong energy. And sometimes we'll pop into little mini stories. Our readings aren't consecutive. It's not like a TV drama or like a sitcom. They're all individual. So just keep that in mind. When we're tapping into an energy, we could tap into a little bit of your story and then later on go to another. But the main point is, if you get, upset, a lot of the times it's because doing inner work is really, really hard. Believe me, I know. And sometimes when we have those heartstring plucks, the heart pluck moment that we weren't anticipating, it can catch us on our back foot. We can get defensive. And I would encourage people who do get a little bit head up to sit in that feeling and be like, why? There are thousands of different readers on YouTube with thousands of different cards and reading thousands of different energies. And I know clicking on this is a collective. Why am I so upset right now? It doesn't really have anything to do with the reader or the cards. It has to do with something that's inside that needs some love, some attention, to be like, okay, let's sit with this feeling. Why? And I guess more importantly, I want to make it clear that you are the maestro of your own destiny. Okay? You have full autonomy, full free will. And I believe in fate and destiny, I do, but I believe it only takes you so far. It's up to us. It's up to you to decide whether or not it actually resonates for you. It's something that you want to pursue, because I believe the universe and fate can offer you possibilities, directions, roads to take, decisions to make, but it's on us to decide whether or not we speak on our behalf, act on our behalf, push against or accept, make a decision or not make a decision, because we are co-creating our reality with our own free will and autonomy and the opportunities and experiences that the universe is offering us to walk. So what story do you want to write, and what path do you want to walk, you know? Anyways, let's get into the pre-shuffle. I'm using this deck that I've come to dub the library. It is a mix of oracles. I have a box that's just enormous. I can't even put it on screen. And over the years, I've collected so many oracles, and it's become really nice to use in readings because it's very eclectic, and it really leaves things up to chance for, how the energies want to come in. It gives them more room. So we're going to do a collective, see what, or we're going to do a pre-shuffle for the collective, see how you all are feeling coming into this reading. So we'll do, okay, there we go. First one we have is obsession. Focusing too much on one situation, need to step back. Okay. I can understand this. This is very easy for me to do because I tend to be hyper focused on things. When I focus on things, I focus on it hard. I want to make sure that it's perfect. I want to make sure I'm doing the very best that I can. And it isn't enough for me to have a situation just be okay. I need to keep striving. That's just my personality. I'm a very intense person. And so this situation is something that, like, there may be, I just heard a situation that you're hyper focusing on, a person that you're hyper focusing on, perhaps something that has already passed that you're hyper focusing on. Like, those moments, those moments when you're like in an argument and you're like, oh, I should have said that. Of course, 2020, thinking about, vision, looking backwards. Your vision is always 2020, right? You always think, oh, that would have been the real zinger to say. There's something about focusing on an experience, a person, or an outcome that is actually kind of, okay, I'm hearing focusing so hard on this situation, this outcome, this person, this possibility is actually doing you a disservice. It's causing you more anxiety. If it's like, oh, I have to look for another job, or I'm worried that, my rent will go up, or I worry about where I'm going to move to, or whether or not my partner's happy, or how I'm going to find someone to love, or, I'm losing touch with my friends, and like you're hyper focusing on something, and it would do to get some air, like stepping back, like it's saying, getting some air, getting some perspective, and not focusing so hard on it. Because a lot of the times when we focus so hard on something, we're missing the lessons and the hints that surround it. Okay, so let's see what else we've got. Oh, we've got a couple. Okay, so again, this is unexpected outcome. So you may be focusing on something that you're like, what? Maybe you don't know what's going to happen with your job, what's going to happen with your partner, what's going to happen with your friends, what's going to happen with your living situation, and it's really stressing you out. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, I was going to say, because unexpected outcomes, like maybe you didn't know that you were going to get the chance to have that promotion. Maybe you didn't know the company was going to fold, but then here we are with soulmates and communication. So there's something. Okay. So again, I try not to make my readings always about love, but when it comes up like soulmates and communicate, it's hard for me to move away from them. And it just may be that my collective is someone who resonates with, I believe in these divine connections. I really, truly do. I believe in them. I foster the idea. I put the good energy out. And so perhaps the collective that I tap into is just as squishy as I am. So there is something that you've been focusing on, hyper focusing on. And like I said, you might be attached to a certain outcome. And over here we have unexpected outcome with a soulmate energy, or someone that you view as a divine connection. And then we have communicate. Now, what I'm a little bit hesitant on is whether or not this communicate card is you are wanting to communicate, they are wanting to communicate but not communicating, or that the energies for this reading are asking you both to stop obsessing so much, so on a granular molecular level. Stop focusing so hard on what the outcome is going to be, worrying about the outcome, obsessing about the outcome, laser focusing about the outcome, rather than you doing that singly on your own. Maybe you need to be on a phone call or face to face. You all need to communicate. That's kind of what it feels like right now. Normally, I only do two sets of pre-shuffles, but I'm feeling like I need to do another one. Okay, we got one right away. Too busy winning. This makes me think that one of you is distracting yourselves with work. So we had the first card was obsessive. So it feels like one person in this connection, but I'm gonna be honest. I personally intuitively feel like both of you guys are obsessing about the outcome of the soulmate connection in your own way. I will say one probably is focusing on it a little bit more intensely, but that same person who is focusing on it as intensely as it feels, like laser focus, like maybe even all consuming thoughts, is also trying to distract themselves with work, with trying to, get that bag, putting in extra hours, volunteering, or having a really busy social life. It's really strange because I'm getting the very clear indication that the two people in this connection, this kind of soulmate divine connection, are both focusing, laser focused, a little bit obsessed about what is the outcome going to be between us. This also leads me to intuit that you all aren't together right now, or yet. I'm hearing yet with the big underline. But there is concern about how you all are going to make it work. One person is thinking about it a lot. A lot of their thoughts are kind of circling about it, but they're kind of sitting in that energy, right? Thinking about it like logistically, emotionally, spiritually. They're sitting in the energy and feeling it. While the other is laser focused and obsessed and hyper focused on the outcome of this situation, and it's so maybe overwhelming or consuming in thought that they try to bury their selves in work or obligations or commitments, volunteering, hanging out with friends. So one is sitting in the energy and laser focused. The other one is laser focused and can't think of anything else, but chooses outside stimulus to try to distract. It's like they can't handle how intense it feels. Okay, sorry, I had a hiccup. I had a stifle it because I didn't want to hiccup in the middle of my words, but I just hiccuped. So let's get into the reading proper. Okay, let's see what we've got. What is the collective going through? So we have guilty. So the card said someone or there's been lying or cheating, maybe both. It may take confrontation to come clean. Okay. So let me show you the card. I mean, you can probably see it, but it is a hand holding a rosary. So I'm here thinking this. Okay, take it as it resonates. It feels like the person who is kind of worried or thinking a lot or circle thinking, or you can call it obsessing or laser focused on the outcome of this soulmate connection, and they're sitting in that feeling. I don't feel like they're the person who is feeling this guilt. All right. The person who is sitting in, for lack of a better term, a calmer energy, but still kind of circle thinking around it, is the one who doesn't have the guilt. The one who is overwhelmed, the one who is trying to busy themselves with like work or friends or obligations or volunteering or partying, or just filling up their days so they don't have to sit in their feelings and think about it. They're feeling a certain level of guilt. Now, I won't say that it absolutely has to be cheating. It has to be, like two-timing. But there's a certain level of guilt or shame or fear that this person feels. I do feel both sides heavily think about whether or not this connection is going to, actually come to pass. but one is sitting in the energy and really thinking about it and really kind of diving deep, honestly, from like a logistic, intellect, heart, spirit, all those different ways they're measuring this situation, trying to figure how this could all pan out, while the other feels a little bit overwhelmed and tends to bury and try to I just heard hide. Try to hide from it, not from their person, but from their feelings about it, with work, with obligation. Like I said, partying. Maybe they play video games. I don't know. Let's keep going. Again, we got this card, too busy winning. Yep. This is confirmation. I just said the one that feels guilty is the one who's loading up their schedule, so they don't have to sit alone in their feelings, so they don't have to sit and actually think about this soulmate situation that you both, I'm doing this for visuals because they're two different people, that they're both thinking like almost on like a laser focused obsessive level. How can we come together? How can we bring this happiness? How can we just be together? One of these energies, doesn't matter who, but like one of these energies has a certain level of guilt and shame, and they're just kind of loading up their schedule, trying not to deal with it. And I can understand that it can be overwhelming, but it does, sweeping it under the rug is only going to work for so long, and it's going to start spilling out on others. Anyways, you know that whole drill. Let's keep going. What else? What else do we have? No, we have not talking. Yeah, you guys aren't you're not in communication. But at the beginning, in the pre-shuffle, it said unexpected outcomes, soulmates, and communication. Currently, you all are not talking. Currently, you're not talking. But in the pre-shuffle, it seems like there is this want, this need. And I'm kind of feeling it from all sides. I'm feeling it from the person who's sitting in the energy calmly. I'm feeling it from this guilty, too busy winning energy. And honestly, I'm feeling it like from my guides, my spirit. Everybody involved, the two people and spirit, or their guardians, or their ancestors, or the universe, however you want to call it. We all want y'all to talk, but it's not happening. And it's not happening because of this energy right here. That's not blame. That's just recognizing that this energy, this person wants to communicate, but doesn't know how, doesn't feel ready, is a little scared, is afraid of blame, afraid of feeling their feelings. That's not wrong, but this is the from an energetic standpoint, this feels like the facts. Calm, obsessive energy wants to talk. Spirit, ancestors, your guides want y'all to talk. But this energy right here wants to talk but is afraid. Feels a certain level of shame, guilt. And then I feel like someone's opening up their phones and getting in like the notes app and typing out a bunch of stuff and like wanting to say a whole paragraph of things, and then they end up deleting it. Let's see what else. Right away. So we have show, spotlight, express, create. Okay, so show. There's a lot of these keywords in here, but I'm seeing express so strongly. Y'all are not talking, but again, here comes the universe, like seeping into it. It's show. Oh my God. Express, yes, you want to express yourself, but the universe right now feels like for this energy, don't just say, don't just express, show them. Because I've said it in several readings in the past, there comes a point where you can only say so much, especially if there has been like, you know, sort of tempestuous energy in between you and your loved one. Maybe you've had some rocky events in y'all's relationship. There's love there. There's absolute love there. But that's not to say there weren't hardships, that there weren't bickering, there wasn't fights, there wasn't trust loss. In order for to rekindle, to reconcile, to reconnect, you have to come forward, have a conversation, and also show them, back up what you're saying, not just saying, but doing. That's what it feels like. Okay, I'm being told to get some cards on these, like clarification cards on these. I was gonna keep going with the bottom of the deck is games. Playing at love but not serious about keeping it. Know what you want and be honest. Now, this, oh God. This person right here, this energy right here, there's shame, there's guilt, there's fear. And I don't think they are playing games. I think they really are in their head about fear and shame and guilt. Like they want to communicate. The universe wants y'all to communicate, sorry. And the one who's in like the calm but obsessive energy about what's going to happen to this relationship wants to communicate. But here's the fucking twist. One energy is not communicating because they're afraid, they're anxious, they're guilty. Nope, I said guilty. Why? Okay, I said what I said. There may be something on this side that this person knows that they did wrong. They know that I heard in this situation, they ain't right. They did something that was not right, that was hurtful, that was dishonest. They withheld information. There was something. I don't think it was, now I'm hearing, it isn't as bad as this person is making it out, but they weren't honest about something. So in a sense, yes, they are guilty. That's part of the reason why they're having a hard time not talking, or why they're having a hard time talking, is because they know by talking, it means that they have to fess up to the things that they withheld, the things that they lied about, the things that maybe they embellished, the things and actions that they know they did wrong. Now, going back to this games card, the other energy, the one that's kind of like sitting in the energy, wanting, radiating this want to be with this other energy, but they're not communicating either. They're thinking about it logistically, spiritually, emotionally, how to be together. But because whatever went on here, the calm energy feels like this person's playing games with them. This person, this calm energy, the calmer energy, the one that's kind of also focusing, loves this energy, wants to be with energy, but feels like they're playing games. Like this energy here feels like this energy has put them on ice, put them on the back burner for whenever they need them. Like, how do I want to describe this? I don't want y'all to get lost in the sauce. The calm energy feels like the fearful energy is playing games with them, putting them on ice, putting them on the back burner until the fearful, anxious energy is ready to take them out, to play with them again for a little while, just to put them back. This is why there is this not talking energy. One is fearful and anxious about something that they know they did wrong, but they love their person. The calm energy wants to communicate, but doesn't, because they feel like this energy is playing games with them, that they don't take them seriously. And the wild part is these both people, they love each other. Spirit wants you to express and show your devotion. Spirit wants you to communicate. This energy wants to communicate. The calm energy wants to communicate. Spirit wants you all to communicate. But you're afraid to communicate. And calm energy doesn't want to be the first step forward because they feel like this energy is playing games. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. So let's get some tarot cards. For this, for the guilty card. We're going to go start with challenges, and then we're going to go with what the universe also wants you all to do. Sorry, that just fell on the floor. Hold on, let me grab it. The Lover's card. This person who has that fear of, not fear, but yes, I guess it is fear. This person who has fear, who has guilt, who has shame, and one of the main reasons why they're not talking is because they know by doing this, they're going to have to step forward. They feel especially nervous because they realize this is their person. Again, you all, the anxious, afraid energy, and the calm energy, the one that's sitting in the feeling, y'all are both obsessively thinking about being together. You guys both love each other very, very much. This one knows that they did something wrong and is anxious about having a conversation in which they have to talk about their feelings and fess up and be like, this wasn't right of me to say this, do this, withhold this information, or lie about this. And the other person has to be honest and be like, look, I feel like you're playing games with me. You can't just tell me that you love me. Show me. You can't just say you want to be with me and are loyal to me and want to build something with me. Show me. So they're both apprehensive and they're both in the same way. And the thing that like makes me a little bit sad for this is like we saw in the pre-shuffle that these people have soulmate energy, and I feel like the calm energy and this anxious energy love each other so much, and they're almost throwing into question whether they're or not they're actually soulmates. And the one that's anxious and fearful feels even more intensely that way, because they're starting to realize that yes, they are their soulmate, that they've treated badly or they've handled recklessly this person who was almost divinely orchestrated and created to have this relationship with. Their challenge is the guilt that they feel is intensified by the fact that they realize that the person that maybe they weren't always like 100 with is someone now they understand is their soulmate, and like that like adds even more to it. It like makes the burden heavier, because it isn't just someone that they love. That would be already a huge feeling, but it's someone that they love and they feel like they are intrinsic, like a soul. Like I think you might get what I'm like. If it was just someone that they loved like from their past, they would already feel really bad about it and have to apologize. But the fact that they love this person and they're starting to understand that they treated this way to their soulmate, the red thread of fate, this divine connection, it's making them feel, I'm going to say it, they feel like absolute shit. Okay, so there's too busy winning. Okay, no, we got two cards here. Too busy winning. We have the Four of Wands, which is twin flame energy, the 1111 card. But then we also have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So again, here the guilt is exacerbated by the fact that this anxious energy is feeling like it's bad enough that this could have happened with someone that I love, but I handled this situation not the best with someone who not only I love, but I'm starting to realize every day is divinely orchestrated for me. I'm filling myself up with work and obligations and friends and social events, partying even, because I know this person, this Lover's card, is Four of Wands, the next level of commitment, the higher level of commitment, twin flames. But because I feel this fear, because I'm not ready to hand this, I'm not ready to build this, like to give the foundation of stability. If anything, the more the more that they recognize that they fumbled a situation, the less stable that they feel. It's like at the beginning they felt guilty and they're like, this person is like my soulmate. This person feels like destined for me. And the more they sit in that energy, they realize that no, it's not just soulmate. It's like destined, like twin flame, whatever you want to call it. Like I am supposed to be with this person. And that is too much for this person to handle. So they just fill their life up with work. And by filling their life up with work or obligations or partying or social events, while on the outside it may seem fine to other people, but inside they're becoming less and less stable within themselves. Like it's getting harder and harder to mask. It's getting harder and harder not to want to like get emotional or cry. And I'm getting the distinct feeling that this person does not like crying in front of people. But the longer that they do not address this, the harder it is for them to keep up appearances in public. And at some point, you know, even me looking at this makes me feel bad that at some point they may be at like a family function or a friend thing and something just triggers them or ticks them and they just get emotional. They start getting watery eyes, and then people are like, are you okay? And the fact that people are like, are you okay, pushes them over, you know, over the hill, and they just are sobbing. Like they're barely holding it together as it is. And as soon as someone shows them love and concern and vulnerability to be like, are you okay? Do you need to talk about something? They've been holding in for so long. They've been not talking to the person that they love for so long that they can't hold the mask for it forever. At some point, the mask will fall and people will see in big waves the emotion that would come from this person. And I also feel like that person is fearful of that happening. I'm seeing right now someone like putting a hand on their shoulders and like kind of like on like their hand on their shoulder and kind of giving them a soft like pat or rub and being like, hey man, are you okay? Or girl, are you okay? And you almost or they almost shrink away from the touch because it's like they almost want to be like, I'm on the edge right now. Please don't show me love and kindness because I'm about to fall apart. The tears are going to start flowing. And then I know I'm in the middle of a social event and then everyone's going to come up around me and be like, what's wrong? And I can't handle that scenario. And I won't be able to stop myself from crying because I've been holding this in for too long. Because you're not talking to the person that you need to be talking to. My goodness. Okay, so let's see. I was about to shuffle, and when I did this card decided just to flip out. So we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So this Three of Wands is about having taken action, and then like Three of Wands is about having taken a bunch of action towards what you want, and now you've done as much as you possibly can, and you're like at the edge of that cliff, and you're just looking out to sea and being like, anytime now, anytime, what all the things that I've done will start coming in. All the effort that I put forward is going to start paying off. But this is action not taken. And I mean, I'm not even trying to be funny, but the Three of Wands is action not taken, and it is the shape of the water sign, the downward facing triangle. This person hasn't taken action because they're in their emotions. They're so deep in their emotion, they're almost paralyzed about what they should do. Oh, boy. Okay, so not talking. Can we get clarification on this not talking? Okay, so then we have the Ace of Cups. It just is like, it's so sad because it's like this person wants this anxious energy, wants this love, and the calm energy that still is up just as obsessive about like, how is this going to happen? Is this person just playing with me? Do they even really love me? Because they tend to pop in and out of my life like I ain't worth anything. Why am I still here just trying to figure this out internally? That person, the calm person, wants to offer the cup of love. This anxious, fearful energy wants to offer the cup of love, and yet nobody is talking. I almost get the inclination that if they were to start talking, like the first thing both sides would want to do is just talk about how much they love each other first, and then dread the conversation that needs to happen. Because the easy part is saying how much you love someone. In this situation, the easy part is saying how much you love them and how much you want to be with them. The hard part is taking accountability for the things that you've done that need to be apologized for. And on the calm end, the calm energy is not without fault. It's just this reading is focusing on this person. The calm energy has their own, and I'm getting really strongly that the calm energy has their own shit to apologize for. They both want this to happen. But there's this huge wall between the two. And that wall between the two, I mean, you know that you've heard that saying probably. There's only two really big forces in the world. You either live your life in love or fear. And quite literally, this is the dynamic. You either let love guide this relationship, and love doesn't always have to be easy. You hear that term, tough love. Having this conversation, being honest and vulnerable with each other, that's love. That's not only love, that's respect. That's vulnerability. That is wanting to work together to heal. But what I'm seeing happen here is fear. There's a huge wall between not talking and the love they want to experience. Quite literally, I just seen like a little cement wall between not talking and the love they want to experience. Oh my goodness, that's too much. I'll take the one that's facing up, which is the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Like, the universe wants you not just to say how you feel, but to show and back up with action. The challenge is that this energy doesn't feel that they have the stability to offer. In home, in finance, in emotions, maybe at some level in spirituality if they are a spiritual person. The universe is asking this energy, speak your truth, be real, and then back it up. Don't just say you love this person and that you want to be with them and do nothing to fix or to mend the row between you two. And this person's challenge is the feeling that they don't have the stability, not in their emotions, not in finance, not in love, not in life. I'm hearing they think themselves a mess. That's their challenge. We'll do a little summation. Their challenge with this is they feel guilty, not only because they did it to someone that they love, that they're realizing this person is like destiny for them, and they like fumbled so hard. They realize that the challenge is they realize that this person is like a twin flame or soulmate or divine counterpart, but they can't. They realize that, but they can't handle that realization, and so they fill their lives up with work, with obligations, with party, with social events, with partying. I don't know if I said partying again, but I mean, it stands. I said it more than once. There's a reason why I said it more than once, because they know, they quote unquote know that they don't have the stability to offer. They're not talking, and the challenge is because if they start talking, they're going to start telling all this love emotion. Both sides want to tell the love emotion, but they dread talking about what really, really needs to be addressed. Not just on this. Again, this reading is about this energy. The calm energy is kind of on the side here. They're not without fault. They absolutely have shit to apologize for. But this reading is focusing on this person here. Their challenge is they want to talk, but they're afraid that if they start talking about their wants and their feelings and their vulnerability, that they'll regret it, that they won't be accepted. They want to feel the love, but like they dread having the conversation that actually needs to happen. The universe wants them to say what they need to say and follow it up with action. Challenges, they don't feel like they have the stability in finance, in home, emotions, in life, and so they just like count themselves out. Goodness gracious. Okay, so I'm just hearing I need to get cards, some oracle cards for what the universe wants. And I'm hearing a very specific card. Hold on. Just because this person's having such a hard time even hearing the fact that they're worthy of love. So, I mean, there's an oracle deck called Postcards from Spirit. I'm being told specifically to get that one. So give me a second while I grab it. Okay, so Postcards from Spirit. They're kind of large. And, okay, I hear two. So I need two. Okay, those are hanging out on top, so I'm going to take those. There's two. So the first card is, these postcards are direct messages from Spirit to this person. So, dear you, there is always more than one side to an argument. Two sides, if not more, to every story, and hundreds of ways to be right, to be different, to be at odds, and so on. Today we suggest that instead of looking for differences, You find a meeting place of agreement and approach this experience with understanding and compassion. Seek common ground to understand one another and how another person thinks or how an alternate plan might be laid. Stay out of judgment too. Observe, discern, but accept what others have. Accept what others have might refuse to remain open. Hold on, I think I've lost myself. Hold on. Uh, but accept that others have different stories, experiences and journeys, and some people might refuse to remain open to another's point of view. No matter what, you've been presented with the great opportunity to explore a new way of doing things once common ground is reached. You're attracting people and situations that enrich your life and bring you wonderful things to learn. So essentially, the universe is like, have this conversation, because if you have this conversation and understand that, you all have your differences and you'll both have shit to apologize for so you can move forward in a positive way, you all can enrich each other's lives. Okay, the next card. Dearest you, you have a unique purpose and destiny that only you can fulfill. But first, you need to know what that destiny isn't. You need to know that destiny isn't a destination. You don't arrive at some special place where, poof, you're perfect and happy all the time. It's about establishing and firming up a commitment to a certain experience, whatever form that takes. Your soul needs to know that, your soul knows what you need to experience. Your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and fulfill potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. You are special as much as you are also paradoxically one with the world, individual yet part of a great whole. Both truths have led you to this moment where we are saying you are on the right track, even if your ego self doesn't see that. Listen to your soul and check in with your spirit. Oh my goodness. I love how they're talking about you are uniquely you, but also connected to everything. So this person is uniquely them, but also connected to their soul tie, their soul mate, their twin flame. And the idea behind these divine connection is that they're meant to raise the vibration of the world, to bring love to the world, to inspire more soulmates and more twin flames to unite in love so that the world as a whole can start operating from a place of love and not fear. I'm just hearing the reason why it's so scary for this person is because they're on the precipice of spiritually awakening. So that is the reading for today. I don't know who that was meant for, but it needed to come out. It needed to be said. And someone out there is experiencing a lot of fear and anxiety. And their strength, their boundaries are being asked to I just heard gains, as if they're a weightlifter. Gains like that, but also to set boundaries and know what healthy boundaries are for themselves, with themselves, and with others. And when I say setting boundaries for yourself is not allowing yourself to speak badly about yourself. That's a boundary that you need to set. Okay? And also being open to the idea that, yes, a conversation can be difficult. You might notice some real differences, but there's also strength in building and committing to that kind of conversation so that you can commit to the kind of energy we're talking about here, which is the Lovers, the Four of Wands, which is twin flames, and the Ace of Cups, love. I've just made a mess of all my cards, but let me just be real, that doesn't even matter right now. This person is so worried about this conversation, but if they allow themselves to have that conversation and feel that freedom, we have Lovers, soulmates, Four of Wands, twin flames, and the Ace of Cups. A brand new, passionate, loving beginning. Okay, so that is the reading for today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all likes, shares, and subscribes. But more importantly, I couldn't do any of this without you, because I'm reading the energy that I'm given. So you being here and present is the most appreciated part of this whole experience. My name is Angel, and this is Rabbit and Moon Tarot, and I'll see you at the next reading.